On the news, President Bola Tinubu gives assurance that plans to establish state police will not be delayed as part of efforts to address insecurity across the country. State government inaugurates Delta State Blue Economy Framework Committee. Parents of children with special needs urged to give them adequate attention. Abroad, a major storm hit U.S. East Coast, bringing record-breaking snow that caused disruptions for millions and thousands of flight cancellations. Good evening and welcome to Delta Television Main News. I am Great Edoniabo. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. President Bola Tinubu has given assurance that the plan to establish state police will not be delayed as part of efforts to address insecurity across the country. President Tinubu spoke at an interfaith breaking of fast with governors and senior government officials at Presidential Banquet Hall in Abuja, marking the first iftar of the 2026 Ramadan season. He expressed optimism about the nation's economic outlook, stating that Nigeria had moved past a period of uncertainty and that the economy was beginning to improve. The president urged political leaders and members of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) to promote inclusiveness and give opportunities to young people while strengthening unity within the party and the country. He called on governors to extend development to grassroots communities and local governments, emphasizing compassion, cooperation, and national unity. Speaking on behalf of the Nigeria Governors Forum, Senator Hope Uzodinma commended the president for encouraging harmony among political leaders and pledged continued collaboration between state governors and the federal government. Meanwhile, Minister of Defense retired General Christopher Musa has called for stronger border surveillance and control mechanisms to enhance Nigeria's national security. He made a call while receiving members of the Alumni Association of the National Defense College who paid a visit to the Ministry of Defense headquarters in Abuja. General Musa explained that Nigeria's security environment remains dynamic and complex, stressing the need for continuous review and upgrading of existing defense policies and frameworks to address emerging challenges. He said it was important for authorities to know who entered and left the country, as well as what goods crossed the borders, noting that improved monitoring would help curb transnational crimes and other security threats. The defense minister also underscored the importance of improving the welfare of military veterans, saying those who serve the nation deserve better healthcare and support after retirement. He assured the association that the ministry would work with relevant authorities and partners to review critical defense policies and strengthen systems aimed at improving national security and the well-being of retired personnel. The state government has inaugurated the Delta State Blue Economy Framework Committee as part of deliberate effort to harness the vast economic potentials of the sector for sustainable socio-economic development. Pere Botu reports.
Inaugurating both the steering committee and the technical working committee of the Delta State Blue Economy Framework, the state deputy governor, Sir Monday Oyeme, said the committees have been mandated to develop a comprehensive and implementable framework for the state's blue economy in line with the directive of Governor Sheriff Oborevwori. The steering committee comprises key ministries and agencies critical to the success of the initiative, including the Ministries of Environment, Transport, Agriculture, Riverine Infrastructure, Housing, Energy, Trade and Investment, Culture and Tourism, as well as the Delta State Internal Revenue Service and the Delta State Investment Development Agency, DIDA. The Technical Working Committee consists of selected directors drawn from the various ministries, departments and agencies tasked with providing expert input and technical guidance for the framework. Sir Monday Oyeme, who chairs the Delta State Blue Economy Framework Committee, emphasized that the selected MDAs played strategic roles in the effective implementation of the policy. He described the blue economy as a vital driver of economic diversification, revenue generation, job creation, and sustainable development in the state.
When you're talking at national of areas where there is viable blue economy, Delta State will be one of them, if not at the forefront.
In his remarks, the Chief Economic Advisor to the state government, Dr. Barigbe, said the framework is aimed at domesticating the national blue economy policy at the state level. He noted that within the South-South region, only Bayelsa State currently operated a Ministry of Blue Economy. Dr. Gbe further disclosed that the Blue Economy Framework Committee operates under the Office of the Deputy Governor to ensure coordination and effective supervision.
The first step is to come up with a framework that will guide us in achieving that. And therefore, the governor has given some short-term measure approvals, which will lead gradually to setting up a ministry or a directorate, as the case may be.
Commissioners and representatives of relevant agencies also presented brief outlines of their policy directions and proposed contributions towards the development and implementation of the state's blue economic framework. I am Pere Botu reporting.
The Delta State House of Assembly Committee on Trade and Investment has held a public hearing on the Delta State Gaming Board Bill, receiving submissions from key stakeholders across the state. The public hearing held at the press center of the Assembly Complex brought together relevant stakeholders to make both written and oral presentations on the proposed legislation. Welcoming participants, Chairman of the committee, Honorable Egbetame Ovie Collins, emphasized that stakeholders' contributions were vital to the legislative process, noting that their input would enable the House to develop a robust, transparent, and inclusive legal framework to regulate gaming activities in the state. He explained that the bill sought to repeal several existing laws, including the Delta State Lotteries Board Law of 1976, the Delta State Lotteries Law of 1976, the Delta Lotteries Law of 1990, the Delta State Pools Betting Control and Taxation Law of 1996, and the Delta State Betting Duty Law of 1954. Representatives of key government establishments made contributions at the hearing. Other members of the committee in attendance were Honorable James Ogoye, Frank Esenwa, and Bino Obowamano. Governor Sheriff Oberewori's performance in office reflects steady progress in infrastructure, security, fiscal management, and rural development across the states. Commissioner for Works, Rural, Roads, and Public Information, Mr. Charles Aniagu, who made the assertion on a national television program, said major road and bridge projects were advancing in the 3 senatorial districts, while improved security had enhanced investor confidence and sustained peace in Delta. Mr. Aniagu mentioned firms including Julius Berger, China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, and Levant Construction handling key projects such as the DSE Roundabout, Enere, and PTI Junction bridges, alongside road expansions in Warri, Agbo, and Ogeli, saying some bridges were already in use, while others were nearing completion. The Commissioner also highlighted the 137-kilometer Koka Junction-Ogeli Road, stating that it had reduced travel time to Warri to about 1 hour and 50 minutes. He noted that direct allocations to the 25 local governments had risen from 1 billion naira per council in 2024 to 7 billion naira per council in the 2026 fiscal year, including intervention funds, adding that strict project supervision, a whistleblower policy, and collaboration with the federal government on major corridors has strengthened project delivery across the states. The State Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Charles Aniagu, has affirmed that the recent ward and local government congresses of the All Progressive Congress in the state were peaceful and conducted in line with party guidelines, dismissing claims of crisis as exaggerated. Speaking on a national TV program, Mr. Aniagu said the exercise followed the directive of President Bola Tinubu on inclusiveness within party structures. He noted that consultations were held across the 25 local government areas before the consensus arrangements were adopted in most wards. The commissioner maintained that only congresses conducted at approved venues and in compliance with party procedures could be recognized, describing any gatherings held outside official processes as invalid. He added that the party in Delta remained united under Governor Sheriff Oborowori, stressing that governance and project delivery across the state remained on track. Women of the All Progressive Congress in Oshimili South local government area have been urged to take advantage of the ongoing registration exercise to secure their permanent voter cards and strengthen their participation in the democratic process. The convener, Dr. Ngozi Chukwuka Olejeme, gave the charge during a town hall meeting held at the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba. Henry Unogwa reports.
Dr. Olejeme, who expressed satisfaction with the impressive turnout of APC women from the various wards in Oshimili South, said the town hall meeting was convened to sensitize women on the importance of registering through e-registration platform and safeguarding their voter cards to enable them exercise their civic rights. She appealed to aggrieved party faithful to put past grievances behind them and unite in support of party leadership at all levels, stressing that unity remained the strength of the party. The convener emphasized the need for women to educate their children who have attained voting age on the importance of registering, describing the voter's card as a tool of empowerment and a voice in governance. Dr. Olejeme disclosed that the word-to-word e-registration exercise has commenced and encouraged those who had misplaced their voter's card or experienced challenges with their registration to take advantage of the opportunity to update their details and assure the women of sustained engagement through periodic meetings, and urge female political appointees to continue mobilizing and supporting women at the grassroots.
In this political era, women are the ones that come out more to vote. So we must sensitize them. It's very important that they get themselves registered and have their voters card. In fact, the next meeting we'll be calling, all of them will come with their voters cards.
Earlier in her remarks, the member representing Oshimili South in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Bridget Anyafulu, commended Dr. Olejeme for organizing what she described as a unique and a timely gathering of women across the local government area. She lauded Dr. Ngozi Chukwuka Olejeme for her consistent philanthropic support and commitment to the welfare and empowerment of women in Oshimili South. Honorable Anyafulu said the meeting had further strengthened solidarity among women in the party and reaffirmed their collective resolve to remain active participants in the political process.
In terms of a lot of things, they have done a lot for us, not just in Oshimili South, but across Nigeria and Africa. For this great woman is an Asaba woman from Oshimili South. And no matter how busy she has been, she will never ever stay back. She will always come home to see her people. After the Congress, she decided to stay back. It was imperative for her to stay back to meet the women in Oshimili South. The same way he's been meeting our other leaders. Can we clap for our mother?
Other speakers at the ceremony, including the wife of the Oshimili South APC chairman, Mrs. Maranatha Okolo, former chairperson of Etiop East Local Government Council, Mrs. Faith Majemite, among others, pledged their support to ensure that women in Oshimili South remain visible and influential in party activities. Henry Onogwa reporting.
Similarly, the chairman of the Oshimili North Local Government, Honorable Innocent Eseweze, has described the just concluded All Progressive Congress APC Local Government Congress as peaceful and orderly. He said the exercise reflected the party's internal democracy and growing strength at the grassroots. The report.
Honorable Eseweze, who spoke with newsmen shortly after the exercise, commended party members in Oshimili North for their maturity and discipline throughout the process. He noted that the impressive turnout underscored members' confidence in the party's leadership and vision for sustainable development.
And this is a new dawn in Oshimili North politically. We're happy because for a long time, the persons you see here today, we've been on the opposite direction. But under the leadership of our governor and the president, we have all come together in one party, the APC. And what it means is that in Oshimili North, opposition has been completely wiped out from this local government.
The council chairman urged newly elected officials to see their emergence as a call to greater service, stressing that loyalty, inclusiveness, and teamwork would be vital as a party prepared for future political activities.
We are happy. APC as a political party is strong, well-rooted in Oshimili North. And with the peaceful conduct of the world congresses, that have now culminated to the local government congress that is being done today, that's is a testimony of what to come. And what to come is that Oshimili North is going to be very peaceful politically. They're going to be very peaceful economically. It's going to be very peaceful so that we can be able to deliver the limit of democracy more and more for our people.
The member representing Oshimili North in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Frank Esenwa, and other party members reaffirmed their commitment to consolidate the gains recorded during the Congress and strengthen party structures across all wards in the area.
APC is well organized in this local government. We are good to go come 2027.
Okay, first is one united APC in Oshimili North local government. Because united we stand and divided, definitely we will fall. But we'll never fall in Oshimili North. As from today onwards, APC Oshimili North is one. So I'm preaching peace and unity. So peace and unity is what I'm asking God to please grant us in Oshimili North local government. From today onwards, one united APC in Oshimili North local government.
The Congress was monitored by a committee assigned to oversee the process and ensure compliance with the party's constitution and electoral guidelines.
Parents of children with special needs have been urged to give them adequate care, attention, and support to help them live fulfilled lives. The wife of the state governor and founder of the You Matter Charity Foundation, Deaconess Tobore Borowori, made a call during a free medical outreach for children with special needs and their caregivers in Delta North Senatorial District. The event held at the Anishi Primary School, Ogwashuku, in the National South local government area. Florence Oyibodoro has details. View that report in our subsequent bulletins. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has partnered with the British High Commission to highlight the experiences of Nigerians trafficked into cyber-enabled scam operations in Southeast Asia. The collaboration was showcased at the Survivor-centered event in Abuja, where recently repatriated victims shared testimonies of how they were lured abroad with promises of well-paid jobs, but later forced into online fraud activities under exploitative conditions. Officials said the program followed a joint rescue operation involving NAPTIP, Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Nigerian Embassy in Bangkok, and the non-governmental organization Eden, leading to the safe return of 23 Nigerians earlier this month. According to a report by the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, thousands of people from many countries are currently trapped in forced scam centers across Southeast Asia after being deceived with fake employment offers. Speaking at the event, the UK Deputy High Commissioner, Mr. Gil Lever, said the United Kingdom would continue to support Nigeria in addressing the growing threat and ensuring survivors receive proper care and safe repatriation. NAPTIP officials urged Nigerians to carefully verify overseas job opportunities, noting that human trafficking was increasingly taking new forms linked to digital exploitation and organized cybercrime networks abroad. The state government has called on communities across the state to desist from referring to one another as tenants or migrants, warning that such labels are capable of fueling tension and undermining peaceful coexistence. The special advisor to the state governor on peace building and conflict resolution, Chief Edwin Uzo, made a call when he met with representatives of Ododego and Eromu Kokwaniye communities in Ughelli North local government area at his office in Asaba. Henry Onogwa reports.
Chief Uzo said the meeting became necessary after the Ododego community submitted a petition against Eromu Kokwaniye community over issues bordering on land ownership, boundary delineation, and the installation of gates. He explained that the Ododego community was asserting ownership of a large portion of land situated in Eromu Kokwaniye, claiming that the land was originally purchased from them. He urged both parties to present relevant documents relating to the disputed boundary and to speak truthfully on the matter, stressing that sincerity and transparency remain the only pathway to lasting peace. The special advisor commended the people of Ododego for choosing to channel their grievances through lawful means rather than resorting to violence, while also acknowledging the people of Eromu Kokwaniye for embracing dialogue, assuring all that the state government would visit the disputed area to obtain first-hand information and ensure a fair and lasting resolution.
We've heard from both parties. We've seen that it's just little misunderstanding, and part of the cases are in court. We told them that court cannot end the matter, because most of the cases that are adjudicated in court are being handled here. What is important is truth. When they tell us the truth, we'll be able to know how to resolve the matter so that everybody can live in peace.
The representatives of both communities, who earlier presented their positions, thanked the Office of the Peace Building and Conflict Resolution for mediating in the matter and pledged to maintain peace as efforts continue to resolve the dispute.
The community, the Elder Council, the Women Council, the youth, and the national body, I want to say thank you, sir.
It is the peaceful coexistence of the people, and I thank you very much. I want to thank the elders from the other community that are here present.
Henry Onogwa reporting.
Still to come, a major storm hits U.S. East Coast, bringing record-breaking snow that caused disruptions for millions and thousands of flight cancellations. Stay with us.
Community, try as much as possible to guide your utterances. No company can be intimidated. The companies are also urged to keep to their social responsibility, the corporate social responsibility. I always say it, keep to it. If you keep to the corporate social responsibility, no host community will hold you ransom.
Welcome back. You're still watching Delta Television Main News. A major storm has hit the U.S. East Coast yesterday, bringing record-breaking snow that caused disruptions for millions and thousands of flight cancellations. The National Weather Service, NWS, said parts of Rhode Island and Massachusetts have seen nearly 94 centimeters of snowfall with more than 19 inches in New York City Central Park. Weather warnings stretched from North Carolina to northern Maine, with some in place further north in parts of eastern Canada. More than 600,000 properties on the U.S. East Coast endured power outages, while the Boston Globe, a major U.S. newspaper, said it will not go to print for the first time in its 153-year history due to the storm. Police in Mexico are searching a number of inmates sprung from a prison in Puerto Vallarta during a wave of attacks launched by the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CGNJ. Puerto Vallarta, a beach resort on Mexico's Pacific coast, was among the towns where the CGN blocked roads and torched cars in retaliation for the killing by security forces of their leader, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Menco. During the unrest, an official said armed men rammed one of the prison's gates with a car, paving the way for 23 prisoners to escape. More than 70 people, including 25 National Guard members, were killed in the operation to capture El Menco and the violence which followed. The Security Secretary for the state of Jalisco, Juan Pablo Hernandez, said its office was working with other states to capture the fugitives. Officials have not yet released details of the identities of the prisoners who escaped. Cartel members set ablaze several vehicles across Puerto Vallarta, causing tourists and locals to seek shelter and black plumes of smoke rising above the popular beach. A number of airlines temporarily halted their flights, and at least 2 major cruise liners said their ships would skip planned stops in Puerto Vallarta. The Mexican government said that most of the roadblocks erected by cartel members had been cleared. However, El Universal newspaper reports that in the state of Morelia, where drug lord El Menco was born, armed men continued to spread fear, torching cars and vandalizing shops and public buildings. The federal government has called for stronger international financing support to expand clean cooking access to about 5 million Nigerian households by 2030. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Mr. Ekperikpe Ekpo, made the appeal during a high-level dialogue on energy access at the International Energy Agency ministerial meeting in Paris, France. Mr. Ekpo said Nigeria's clean cooking plan is driven by a presidential directive and supported by ongoing gas sector reforms under the Decade of Gas Initiative and the Petroleum Industry Act. According to him, the program aimed to expand the use of liquefied petroleum gas nationwide, reduce energy poverty, improve public health, and empower women and young people, particularly in rural communities. The minister also urged development partners and private investors to support a structured financing framework to help Nigeria achieve the target. He noted that the midstream and downstream gas infrastructure fund would help attract investment and expand gas infrastructure across the country, adding that the initiative would also strengthen economic inclusion and environmental sustainability. President of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has said that Nigerians will be able to purchase shares in the Dangote Petroleum Refinery within the next 4 to 5 months as the conglomerate moves to open the $20 billion facility to broader public ownership. Dangote disclosed this while speaking with journalists at the Lagos Refinery Complex during a working visit by the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mr. Bayo Ojulari, accompanied by members of the NNPC board and executive management team. Dangote also clarified the nature of NNPC's existing stake in the facility, saying the National Oil Company holds 7.25% of shares on behalf of the Nigerian people. He said the planned public offering would complement rather than replace that arrangement. Beyond the shareholding announcement, Dangote outlined plans for deepened operational collaboration between his group and NNPC, describing the refinery not merely as a petroleum facility, but as an industrial hub with broader implications for Nigeria's downstream and petrochemical sectors. Meanwhile, Mr. Ojulari in his remarks said that Dangote NNPC alliance will redefine Nigeria's energy security and deepen industrialization. Mr. Ojulari said Nigerians should be grateful for the vision and leadership that made the 650,000 barrels per day refinery a reality, describing it as a bold demonstration of Nigeria's industrial revolution. In our sports, Nigeria's senior women's team, the Super Falcons, will play a double-header friendly with Cameroon in preparation for the upcoming Women's Africa Cup of Nations, the Nigerian Football Federation has confirmed. The team had earlier suffered a setback in their build-up to the tournament following the cancellation of the proposed WAFU B4 Nation tournament, which was to serve as a perfect tune-up for the record 10-time champions to defend their crown yet again in Morocco. The Super Falcons will instead face the indomitable Lionesses in Yaoundé during the next FIFA Women's International window running from 24 February to 7 March 2026, and the clashes are scheduled to hold on Saturday, 28 February 2026 and Tuesday, 3rd March 2026. The WAFCON starts on the 17th of March and ends on the 3rd of April. And our thought for the day: never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. To end the news, here are the highlights. President Bola Tinubu has given assurance that the plan to establish state police will not be delayed as part of efforts to address insecurity across the country. President Tinubu spoke at an interfaith breaking of fast with governors and senior government officials at the Presidential Banquet Hall in Abuja, marking the first iftar of the 2026 Ramadan season. The state government has inaugurated the Delta State Blue Economy Framework Committee as part of deliberate efforts to harness the vast economic potentials of the sector for sustainable socio-economic development. Parents of children with special needs have been urged to give them adequate care, attention, and support to help them live fulfilled lives. The wife of the state governor and founder of the You Matter Charity Foundation, Dickiness Tobore Obrewori, made a call during a free medical outreach for children with special needs and their caregivers in Delta North Senatorial District. We brought to you also that a major storm has hit the U.S. East Coast yesterday, bringing record-breaking snow that caused disruptions for millions and thousands of flight cancellations. You can also follow our news online on Facebook at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba and on YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website. Thanks for joining us on the news. I'm Great Ed Doniabo. Good night and God bless you.